Welcome back, guys. I'm just heading over to the farm now to meet Dad. It looks like we might be trying to get the tractors out onto the field today. That'll be the first time this year getting back out onto the fields. You can kind of see things are really starting to green up now. Here's one of our fields, and we got a whole pile of tillage that we got to get taken care of here right quick. The fields are still probably too wet to be trying to do what we're doing here, but we're gonna head up to one of the farms that we rent, I think, and take the discs up and see what kind of trouble we can get into. Well, here's my ride for today. John Deere 6605. Just filling it up with diesel right now, and we're going to be hooking on to that set of discs over there. The old white tractor with the finishing discs on it, and like you saw, I'm in the John Deere 6605, the heavier set of discs, and we're just heading over to one of the farms that we rent. And Dad already went over because it's so early in the year and everything's so wet still. Dad already went over just to check how the field is, how wet it still is, and apparently it's still extremely wet. And just dealing with a couple cars here, and we're gonna go try it anyways. So he said there's a pretty good chance that we'll either get stuck or disastrously stuck, so this should be interesting. Hopefully it's not that bad. Hopefully we can kind of pick out the wet spots and avoid them if possible, but I don't know, what do you do? That's part of farming, I guess. Like, you got to try to get the crops in, and we got a lot of tillage to do still before we can even start planting, so we gotta get the ball rolling here and roll the dice and see what happens. Well, Dad's already in the one field making his round. I don't know if you'll be able to see him passing behind me there, but looks like he's making it okay so far. Okay, we have arrived. I am gonna pull in, and I think the first thing I'll do is put this sucker in four-wheel drive. Just slow her down a bit here for the time being. It's not a very wide gate to go through. Too disastrous right now. Guess I'll swing around and give her a go. Just a safety bar I gotta jump in, take off, and then I'll be giving her a test. You can set the depths of these, so I think I'm going to start off a little light for right now. And I'm also going to start off a little slow just to see how it goes. Chopping up all the old stalks. So good. I think once I get up, this field I'm in butts up to the field that Dad's in, so when I get up there, he's gonna hop in and kind of try to point out where the wet spots are. So if anything interesting happens, I'll turn the camera back on. Okay, so we had our little meeting there, and there definitely are a lot of wet spots that Dad pointed out. I already drove through one of them, so gonna have to be careful. He wasn't lying, there are quite a few spots that I could probably get stuck in pretty easily, so that should definitely keep it interesting. Actually, right up here ahead there's a big gully that is pretty wet, so keep the camera going and show you what I'm talking about. So basically, like I was saying, you can set the depth of these discs, so obviously the further down into the ground you put them, the harder they are to pull. So I'm getting into a wet spot right now, and if I start spinning, excuse me, like I am now, I pull the discs off a bit. Like, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I just pulled them up a bit so they're not sticking in the ground so much, and that usually gets you into trouble. So now I put them back down again, so now they're straight down again. So right back there you can kind of see how the elevation goes down. That's where one of the wet spots of this field are. There are some that are, oh, spinning again. There's some spots that are still like pond pools basically, so I won't even be able to drive through there. Anyways, if anything interesting happens, I'll turn the camera back on. Huh. Guess he's just being my audience for today. Oh, I'm not making out too bad so far. You don't know if you can see on camera that I've got that part of the field done against the road. Now I'm gonna head up here, see how that goes. Down in by where that little tree is in that clump, it was quite wet, so I wasn't able to get the discs like right down all the way in there, so have to run over that a few more times. But we're gonna have to run over the whole field a few times with the finishing discs anyways. So I'm up on the high ground here now. Hopefully it'll be drier, but who knows. Anyways, that's where I'm at so far. Well, I think it was kind of a bad idea coming up here, because I am spinning the whole way and I don't even have I don't even have the discs in the ground or anything, so I'm just trying to get out of here without getting stuck. Oh, holy. If I can just get myself out of here without getting stuck, I'll be happy. So, this was not a good idea coming up into this part of the field, I don't think. That's just not happening. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. I think this is the last kind of gully right there. Okay, I think I should be good. That was a little nerve-wracking though, because that's quite a ways in there, and I don't know what we would have brought in to pull me out if I had got stuck way back in there. So that's good that I got out of there, and I don't think I'm going to be heading back in there now. So Mike will have to have a little talk with Dad, walk over to the other field and see what his thoughts are, because ain't no way I am disking that when I can't even drive through it on my own, basically. Pretty muddy. But so I'm just gonna hike up there and see what he wants to do, because I don't really feel like getting that tractor buried today. Even though it probably would make a better YouTube video, you guys would probably like that better. I just don't want to do that today. There's Dad in his white, doing some finishing disking. Well, I wasn't really paying too much attention to the time, but I guess it's almost 6 o'clock anyways, so we're gonna head home for supper. Dad's just gonna finish up a few passes here that he's got left to do. By the time I walk back over to my tractor, get in and drive it back to our farm, that'll be good enough for today. I think we made out okay today. Got a decent little chunk of this field here disked up, and it is the first time out this year, so the main goal really was just to make sure, well, I shouldn't say to make sure, the main goal was to try not to get this buried, which I think I did a pretty decent job of. There was that one section that came pretty close. Now I get to muddy up the